I've no idea whatsoever why you're back and watching our second instalment of Miserable Git Rants, but as you're here, I'll bid you welcome, while at the same time secretly wondering how sad and boring your life must be to be watching a miserable arsehole like myself banging on inanely about the things that piss me off on a daily basis and keep me up at night wondering, where will it all end? Now I'm going to talk about a certain group of people that really make me want to just slap their stupid, smug faces. And I'm going to use some offensive words. So if you think you're going to be triggered, then this rant is probably all about you. Because today's topic is snowflakes. You know the people that I'm talking about. The kind of hand-wringing, gender-confused social justice warriors that seem to go out of their way to find things offensive, more often than not, but not always, on the behalf of other people. So here's an example of the type of ludicrous nonsense that these fragile, safe place needing, trigger warning requiring clunge-mongers are whinging about. This just in, we've just received reports of an extremely offensive children's t-shirt. A state of emergency has been declared. Please ensure that your loved ones are safe. Emergency shelters have been set up in towns and villages across the country. So let's be clear, we're in the midst of a national disaster with Brexit to the point where soon Mars bars may become extinct. A sex-crazed failed businessman turned TV celebrity that resembles some kind of a leering chimp that stuck its head into a jumbo bag of Cheetos is in charge of the most powerful nation in the world. We're fracking the crap out of the UK, causing earthquakes and Christ knows what kind of toxic pollution. There's war, poverty, disease, famine and natural disasters, but the order of the day for the precious, safe place needing vag wafters that literally have nothing better to do than to worry about the most ridiculously stupid made up nonsense to get offended about is a bloody t-shirt from Asda that somehow is, and I quote, problematic and stereotyped. Campaigners say that they're disappointed with the clothing, which sends an unhelpful message to both boys and girls about how they should behave. Now, there may be some new kind of drug that I'm not aware of that creates such a dreadful sense of delusion that a t-shirt aimed at a boy can literally be the devil, and can create such outrage that campaigners claim, "We are raising a generation of boys and girls who think they should be, think or feel a certain way because of the messages they receive in ways like this. And when they don't or can't conform to stereotypes like this, their mental health can suffer." Here's the t-shirt in question so you can see for yourself just how terrible and offensive it is. If you're of a nervous or offended disposition, please cover your eyes now. You have been warned. Are they actually fucking serious? It's a t-shirt, not a fucking instruction manual. Do they really think that some fragile little boy will be given that t-shirt and be instantly plunged into some kind of existential dilemma that will drill deep into his psyche because he doesn't dig in the dirt? This is the kind of libtarded, woolly-thinking nonsense that these yoghurt-knitting mouth-breathers who sit in their dimly lit safe place with their malnourished vegan cat that they rarely leave other than to protest about gender mispronouncing being an act of violence. With an overinflated sense of social justice, iPhone clutched tightly in their pudgy little hand and a permanent scowl on their face use to try to undermine our society and try to force their dystopian ideology of Orwellian censorship and thought police to the point where, if they get their way, nobody will ever be able to say anything on social media or even in public for fear of offending someone. Why don't all of the fragile little snowflakes just find an island somewhere with plenty of gender-neutral vegan restaurants and their own version of the internet where they can all live together and try not to offend each other on their own, thus leaving the rest of us normal people that can actually have a bit of a laugh at each other's expense point out and giggle at our little stereotypes and foibles and just generally try to brighten our sad lives and lighten the mood despite the fact that our entire existence is completely and utterly pointless. We're murdering the planet that we live on. Our governments are not only corrupt but are genuinely evil, and one day we'll all be dead, so we might as well have a fucking laugh. Okay, so that was my latest Miserable Git rant. No doubt there'll be another one when something gets my goat enough for me to spend hours sitting at my computer making this tripe. Remember, there's a whole world out there full of beauty and wonder and... who am I kidding? There's a whole virtual world of absolute flange weasels talking about complete nonsense and doing stupid things like the fire challenge to necessitate another episode at some point. And if you want to waste your time watching a miserable git rant on about this sort of ridiculous nonsense when you could be eating Tide Pods or doing the baby shark challenge, then that's your lookout. I wouldn't recommend liking this video, and definitely don't subscribe. I don't think my ego could take it.